Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Antonio, Texas. And welcome to the start of the 2024 PFL regular season. Tonight, the journey to crown this year's champions and hand out those $1 million checks begins. And we start tonight with a special showcase bout. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an MMA specialist and stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 135.6 pounds. And in 19 fights, has a record of 13 wins and 6 losses. Fighting out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, La Polona Ty Johnson. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He is a wrestling specialist and stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in officially at 135.75 pounds and holds a perfect undefeated record of 5 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, Bryce Meredith. Referee in charge, Jeff Reckroyd.
Referee is equipped with ref cam, can take us up close and personal inside the action. Sean O'Connell ready to go toward Tyron Woodley, cage side. Ty Johnson.
All right, here we go, guys. Round 1.
In the green
Fight.
trunks. And Bryce Meredith in the black. Johnson misses with a right hand to open the action. An exchange of inside leg kicks.
A nice knee there as well, followed by a takedown for Bryce.
And you knew Meredith was going to try and get to the wrestling early. 4-time state champion in his home state of Wyoming. Went on to some collegiate success as well. But now it's Johnson trying to attack this leg.
Johnson's got 8 submissions, so you got to be careful what you wish for. Maybe getting that takedown might be not be the best spot for you in this fight.
He looks very comfortable at home right now. He's set up a leg lock right now. He's taking his time. He wants the fight to be on the mat like this.
Still got that left leg of Bryce Meredith tied up. Meredith trying to scramble out of it. Ty Johnson not letting him get away. Now Meredith able to actually get himself in that grip temporarily. Good knee again as they separate from Ty Johnson. Good combination there from Meredith. Finished with that left hook, and now he switches stances. Finishes with a hook again.
I always like to see what a fighter do when they switch stances. What type of offense do they usually like to see?
Johnson caught Meredith coming in, set him off balance. Oh, big nice hook from Meredith. He'll get to work with the ground and pound.
Maintain his posture.
Ty Johnson is aware, corner calling for him to tie up. Got that underhook.
This is where the experience kicks in.
Johnson does not want to put his feet back on the mat, but he has to after the body lock. Takes the back of Bryce Meredith.
Nice job by Meredith to get on the other side of that leg and take that guard away from the back position of Ty Johnson.
The wrestling, we call that coming out the back door.
Ooh, nasty.
The referee could have stepped in. I think one of those might have put him out, and the other one might have woke him back up. Ty Johnson was still for just a second.
I think you're correct.
He's in big trouble here, halfway through round number 1.
You see the submission prowess of Johnson. Every chance he gets, he's working for something. And Meredith not happening. Stay postured, hammer fists, picking his shots and making them count.
Heavy. Hey, just sit
What a way to kick the crowd off.
We're listening to Bryce Meredith's corner. Trying to keep their undefeated fighter undefeated. And these are nasty hammer fists from the top. Some blood trickling from the nose of Meredith.
A lot of people underestimate how bad a hammer fist actually hurts. You get in the side of the glove, they get full contact.
And the leverage and power you can generate with that angle as well that most people don't recognize.
Here's another heel hook attempt. Ty Johnson once again attacking the leg, this time the right leg of Meredith.
Meredith's best bet is to kick the bottom and kick out. Don't try to hammer fist there.
Big John McCarthy is also going to be joining us on the broadcast tonight. Good sweep attempt here from Ty Johnson. Big John, what do you think so far?
Arizona, he is used to submissions, but Ty Johnson is the guy that just keeps on going after it, and that's what he
We'll get the technical difficulties worked out with Big John. Ty Johnson taking the back of Bryce Meredith. What a back and forth first round we've been treated to here, Andy.
Absolutely. Meredith using his wrestling defensively to stay out of trouble. Johnson pursuing those submission positions with fervor from one to the X in the flow.
I mean, this is what happens when you fight 16 times since 2020. You get that experience.
Johnson has been incredibly active. Final few seconds of round number one. Bryce Meredith stands up out of the guard. We'll see round two next.
Watch it, stop. Keep him clean. Here we go, second round. Fight!
Ty Johnson in the green, Bryce Meredith in the black. Showcase bout here to open our card in San Antonio. Hot first round, and they get right back to work in the second.
It's just crazy to see Ty Johnson actually going for the takedown against Bryce Meredith. And Bryce is the one with the wrestling pedigree.
Meredith landed a nice right hand there. Johnson offers one back.
Johnson definitely come out swinging in the second round. We didn't see that in the first round.
Goes to the body with the kick. Giving a lot of different looks to Meredith.
Meredith's left hand is dropping down a little bit. He needs to keep it up high so he don't suffer the head kick with the right leg.
Nasty hook there. Good combinations going back and forth. Johnson interrupts with the right hand. Meredith catches the kick.
That's what we call a near side cradle in wrestling.
That's right. I love that cradle. I use that a lot. Way to control the guy.
Both of you guys are the right type of fighter to ask this question to, but when you have a pretty clear wrestling advantage in a fight, but every time you take the fight down to the ground, you find yourself in a mess because of the submission tips. How do you manage
what he's did right now is get to the side position.
Okay.
In the guard is very dangerous for him because Johnson's hips are too loose. He's constantly attacking the leg. If he can get to the side, use that cradle, I think you'll see he'll land more strikes.
Two ways to use your wrestling. Defensively to keep the fight standing, sprawling, scrambling, getting back to your feet. Meredith has used this pretty effectively in this round to get him down, but getting him down gets you into trouble. You have to be very careful.
So now he's back in the guard. Now you're going to see a lot of armbar attempts, a lot of sweep attempts, a lot of leg lock attempts. If he stays out to the side, use heavy, heavy hips, then he won't be able to shrimp in and get that full guard.
Big issue with Meredith is he's staying at that 45-degree angle. You've got to be all the way in at 0 or back up at 90. You cannot hover in that 45-degree range. That's where all these submissions flow together.
100%.
Here's Johnson throwing up a triangle attempt. Got his legs locked together, figure four. He can also use this to attack that left arm. Kimura grip.
Bryce needs to find a way to try to get his elbow inside, keep the posture, try to stay as composed as possible, and don't give him that run for armbar.
That
Great
posture
job.
was the key for Meredith in that situation.
He didn't panic, too. That was another key component.
That's a hairy situation where your arm, you're choosing between sacrificing your arm and giving up your neck, and he found a way to posture himself out of it. Nice work for a guy who's only got 5 pro fights.
And these guys are super active. From one attack to the next attack to defending, back to striking.
Take the hook out from your right leg. You're doing great right here. You're great right here. He doesn't have anything. Let's address that. Let's get that knee out.
We're working on the technical difficulties with our stats graphics. We'll get those fixed and get them back up on your screen. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in round number 2.
He needs to take his leg, kick him in the bottom, and kick out. Don't play games in there.
Especially with those twisting leg locks. Those are wicked.
He's making it into a pretzel. And he's locking him out on the opposite side, using his leg to hook his hips.
Back to the feet. And an exchange of right hands. There's that knee we've seen Johnson show several times in the fight already.
Johnson is really keeping the full pressure, especially for a wrestler. He's walking him down, eating punches. You don't want to eat too many of them, though.
Meredith finding a home for that right hand a couple of times, but Johnson's so game.
You have to stay outside. You have to stay outside after the takedown attempt.
Here's that heel hook again. Cage is going to confound some of that movement.
Stay outside half guard.
Meredith spins out very, very nicely, trying to get the full mount. Johnson not having it, get his legs and keeping his legs back in that fight, looking for that leg lock again.
Final 30 seconds of round number 2. Ty Johnson in the green, Bryce Meredith in the black. A real treat of a showcase bantamweight affair to open our card in San Antonio.
Johnson is constantly attacking the leg.
Meredith back down into the guard for the final moments of round number 2. Third frame when we return on ESPN Plus. Randy scoring those first couple of rounds. I mean, Meredith was on top for most of this fight, but he's defending pretty constantly.
He is defending constantly, and he has to defend, because if he doesn't defend, fight's over with those submissions. But I think at the end of the day, he's still winning 2 rounds to 0 with a knockdown in the first round, the solid striking and the takedowns in the second round.
Now he unleashes a combination, and Johnson is forced to try and wrestle himself out of some stand-up trouble.
I was going to ask you guys, who you thought won the first 2 rounds? There was so much action. Who was busy breaking down the technique? I'm like, who's winning these rounds?
Big John McCarthy, he knows how these fights should be judged. We can bring him in. Big John, how do you assess round 1 and 2 on the scorecard?
I got my man Randy calling it right. He is up. Bryce Meredith is up 2 rounds to nothing. All the submission attempts, none of them were in that position where you could look and say that was a righteous submission where he was in trouble. They were all close, but never got to that point. All of the striking by Meredith, he's winning right now, 2018.
There you go. Hey, hips in right here.
Johnson unleashing some of those old school heel strikes from the guard, trying to beat up the thighs.
Posture, stand up and pinch your knees.
Incredible pace set by both of these fighters. Finally slowing a little bit here. Johnson kicks up out, back to his feet. Corner of Johnson calling for him to throw. Right
Johnson has the chin on him.
Yeah, he's eating a bunch of those right hands.
Got that beard percussion.
No, he's walking forward Terminator style. I feel like when you switch your stance a lot, you got to make sure your defense is tight on both sides. I'm seeing Meredith drop his left hand every time he switches stance. He's almost got hit with that head kick once before. He needs to keep that left hand up.
Nice deep double.
The double leg takedown. Let's see what he does for his guard. We know Johnson's going to be extremely active.
The key here for Meredith is posture. Stay all the way in there at 0 like he is there, or all the way out at 90. He cannot stay in that middle ground or he's going to find himself in trouble.
Posture and patience, Randy, because you can't get too overzealous in this situation. You might find yourself in trouble.
Johnson grabbing a hold of his own leg in this lockdown position, trying to isolate the right arm of Bryce Meredith as we listen into Meredith's corner.
Hey, push in the back of those legs if I want to, yep. Hey, put down right here, Bryce, and then let's limp arm that arm out. Yep, there we go. Hand on that foot.
I 100% agree with Big John. Unless you're getting the submission, unless you're doing damage from the bottom, if you're on the bottom, you are losing from the person that's on top.
There you go.
Got his right leg. It's slipping. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes.
Got an omoplata. He's got it locked on. A lot of times, if you can't submit a guy from this position, you might be able to create a sweep. He's got that locked on. With Meredith's posture, it might be tough to submit him from there.
Yeah, Meredith need to put knee on belly in the solar plate.
Fight that there. Keep that. Keep that.
He's trying to find a way to get his right knee on the
There,
belly.
he got it out.
Stay outside
Be
of
active.
control.
Let's go. Be active. Be active. 120. Active, active, active. Yes. Who gives a fuck about that? Let's go.
Meredith working the right hand to the body. Ty Johnson, no quit in him. He's put forth a ton of effort throwing on submission attempt after submission attempt. But you can tell that wrestling pedigree of Bryce Meredith. He's just able to find himself floating in the right position on top, minimize the risk.
It's a
Like you said, Randy found that posture as well.
Yeah, three-time All-American and Big 12 champion. Collegiate wrestling fits into this sport very, very well because it gives you that ability to float over a guy, to feel where he's moving, shut him off, keep him down, and that's exactly what Bryce Meredith has been able to do in this fight.
And Randy, we both know how hard it is to win that Big 12 title, so
It's tough.
literally, it's a tough division.
Over 108 collegiate wrestling victories at the University of Wyoming.
And as time expires, you're looking at another professional MMA victory to add to that.
Final few seconds of round number 3. Bryce Meredith will finish this round on top. Great fight to open the card here in San Antonio. Andy Shepard has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Bryce Meredith.
Bryce Meredith improves to 6-0 as a pro mixed martial artist.